masterclass that I'm super excited about. It is tomorrow, November 7th, and it's between the hours of 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. But you are not tied to the time because guess what? You get a copy of the replay. Everyone who purchases a ticket does. But how are you guys doing? Hi. Yeah, you can still buy tickets. So today is the last, or if you get the tickets after the class goes live, the price is $49.99. If you get it now, you can't hear. If you get it now, it's $24.99. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear. I don't have a mic plugged in. Not sure. Hi, Facebook. Hi, YouTube. Hi. How long does it take to join the Facebook chat, the Facebook group? So we approve people daily. The request last time I seen it was down to 5,000. It was at like 20 when that video had went kind of up on TikTok, but it's only at 5 now. We get into it. It is Eastern Standard Time. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, good. It is Eastern Standard Time. So I was coming on here to answer any questions. So I want to really focus on home ownership, mortgage scores, obviously credit as it pertains to mortgage today, because I am having a Homebuyers Masterclass tomorrow, and I'm super excited about it. Dang, hold on. Let me turn my phone on. Do not disturb. 1 second. All right. No, I didn't want any interruptions. So what I was saying, yes, it's still on sale. It's still on sale. So what I was saying is my Homebuyers Masterclass is tomorrow, which is going to be a live webinar. And what we're going to discuss is everything as it pertains to like your mortgage scores and just the mortgage process, how to prepare your credit. If you are dealing with issues about your credit right now and you just feel like there's no end, or you have collections, maybe charge-offs, a bankruptcy, and you like, I do not see home ownership in my future. I don't know what to do at this point. Come to the class, because that's what I'm talking about. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, my background, I'm a board certified credit educator now. So what I do is I'm certified and I'm an expert in credit and personal credit, right? But before this, what I used to do is only work with real estate agents, lenders, and small banks and financial institutions to prepare people or help prepare people for home ownership. If they were 10 points, 20 points, 30 points, etc., off from a qualifying mortgage score, I would literally study their credit reports and try to determine any areas of opportunities that would give them points for their mortgage score. The reason why I keep saying mortgage score is because if you ever purchase a mortgage or are going to purchase a mortgage, you know that the score that the lenders go by is FICO 2, 4, and 5. So these are called mortgage scores because they're only used in the home loan, or I'm sorry, the home lending industry, right? So a lot of people don't know that your mortgage scores are different from the scores that you guys see when you open any of your credit monitoring app. The score that your lenders pull when you are applying for credit cards and cars, that's not your mortgage score. They typically are pulling like a FICO 8 score. Some will pull different variations of your FICO score, but specifically mortgage scores go off FICO 2, 4, and 5. And those are pretty much outdated versions of the scores in systems that we're used to today. So there are specific actions and things that you can do to specifically target those scores, things that wouldn't usually even make a change in your FICO 8 score. It will increase your mortgage scores. So that's what the Homebuyers Masterclass is about. And also in addition to that, MG is also joining me, and he is going to talk about the lending side of home ownership. He is a lender. So he'll be telling you the things that your lenders are looking for, do's and don'ts. He'll be breaking down closing costs. So if that stuff is foreign to you and you want to know about your mortgage process, what to do, what you need to do before, what you need to do during, after you're pre-approved, and then what you need to do to get you through to the closing table. So the webinar is over 3 hours. It's live. It is tomorrow, and it's only $24.99. So it's only $24.99. You get lifetime access to the replay. So if you can't join it live tomorrow, you'll still get the replay. Yeah, I know how I always say, I give you guys the replay and a copy of the presentation slides so you can share it with your friends, so you can share it with your family. I don't care about everyone in your family purchasing the ticket. No, get the video, get the information, and share it with your people, because that's all that it's about at the end of the day. So you can get your ticket. You can get your ticket now. I don't want to spend a whole live doing this whole drop for this, but I do want to talk, answer your questions about mortgage scores and stuff. But yeah, you can get it at roadto750.net or the first link in any of my bios. The first link. Yep. It's $24.99. Yep. It gives you all of that. Over 3 hours of information, actionable steps, because it's not just cookie cutter information that is just like, girl, we could have did one Google search. Y'all know I don't do that. I'm very, very, very detailed, and I'm gonna specifically tell you what you need to do. You're gonna go home with a list. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. I need to do that. And that's it. That's it. But yeah, let's just answer credit questions. The drop is over. I felt like I was doing an infomercial. Can a debt buyer report a past due balance on a collection account? Well, a collection account should not have a past due balance listed at all, because a collection account is no longer considered an active trade line, or is not considered an active trade line. Yeah, my light is voice activated. Yeah. Yes, the masterclass is tomorrow, but again, if you can't make it live, you'll get a copy of the replay. Everyone will get a copy of the replay, whether you're there live or you missed it. Every person who purchases a ticket will get a copy. Will get emailed a copy of the replay, as well as the presentation slides. Yes, you guys will get. Everyone will get the Zoom link tomorrow. You'll get you should get your ticket confirmation immediately though from the website, but you'll get the passcode tomorrow. Last time we did it early and people shared the code to a lot of people. The class is 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Yep, we'll be talking about collections, charge-offs, public records, judgments. We'll be talking about everything that will prevent you from getting a mortgage or help you get a mortgage. We will be discussing. Yep. Road to 750.net. Yeah, if you're working, so here's the thing. If you purchase it for $24.99, regardless if you're there or not, you'll get a copy of the replay. Because if you wait until after the webinar is live, the resale of the webinar and the downloadables will be $49.99. So if you know you want it, but you can't make it at the time, you should get it right now for the $24.99. Because if you're going to purchase it after, it's going to be $49. What should our credit profile look like for mortgage scores? So we will be going into that in detail, like down to here are some credit cards for every level. If you have never gotten a credit card, no one will approve you for a credit card. Here are options for you. If you already have a credit card and want to know what other accounts or something you need to add to your credit profile that would be favorable to your mortgage scores, we will also be discussing that. What type of accounts should you avoid opening? Things that you should avoid even 6 months before you even think about getting a pre-approval. Or if you aren't 6 months out, we'll still discuss that. But just kind of like areas of opportunity, if you have at least a year before you want to purchase a home, maybe you only have 6 months, maybe you have only a few months, you know what I mean? So there are options for everyone, and we will be discussing everything, things that you need to avoid doing. Yeah, just all of that. How many years of employment, school enrollment do you need to be considerable to lenders? You don't have to have like a certain years of school enrollment or anything like that. And in terms of your employment, well, that'll vary because some lenders will look for you to be in your industry at least 2 years. Some will accept 1 year. So we'll talk about, things like that as well. Yeah, we'll be discussing. So the information that we're discussing will be applicable to all types of home loans, but of course we will go over different types of home loans and obviously all of that. That's more of MG's side. That's why I don't really be touching on that, because he's the lending side. So he's going to tell you that I'm the credit side. We're going to talk about your mortgage scores and that. So it's a 2-for-1. I just sent the debt validation letter. What are my next steps? Do you have a bundle on that? So did they reply? What happened after you sent it? Yep, $24.99. A charge off of $1,500. How will it affect what? Eartha. Can a student loan debt hinder you from getting? I got a burp. Hinder you from getting a mortgage? Okay. Not necessarily. So it all depends. Obviously, your debt to income ratio plays a big part in a mortgage loan. So depending on how much your student loans are, there may be options for you because, as you know, like the newest, I guess, release or change for FHA loans with student loans is if you're on an income-based repayment plan or an income-driven repayment plan, you can qualify to only have your student loans counted up to 0.5% of your DTI, which is a change from the 1% that it was previously. So there are definitely options, and student loans definitely doesn't just eliminate you from being able to get a mortgage loan Actually, most people who purchase homes have student loans on their credit report, percentage wise. Yes. Right. Let me see. I have 31,000 in student loans. Yeah. So, and and obviously I was gonna say we know that the student loans are about to be, well, a lot of people's student loans will be forgiven or come close to be forgiven. So that'll be a large chunk of off the debt that a lot of people will owe. But shit, we don't know what's going on with that because we don't have an update. But I suspect that obviously that'll be applied soon. Tony, I don't see no other question but this one. The comment that you just left said I never answered your question. What's your question? Can medical debt hinder you from getting a mortgage loan? So a lot of lenders are very lenient when it comes to medical debt. A lot of the lenders, the ones that I worked with, they're very lenient as it pertains to medical debt. I watched your last one with MG and it was amazing, very informative. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. Oh, that's what I meant to do. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to pin the comment, pin the website. Pin. All right, we in there. Okay, when upgrading from secure to unsecured cards with the same credit union bank, is there any tips you can give me? Thanks for answering. When upgrading from a secure to unsecured card with the same credit bank. Well, normally if you're staying within the same like institution, it's easier to kind of just like work your way up in terms of the tiers of their credit cards. So it shouldn't be anything obviously other than, making sure you pay your credit card on time, making sure you report a low utilization, just the normal recommendations, how you behave with a credit card. That should not be hard at all. I would also recommend that you would consider going outside of your credit union. If you are looking to kind of grow up substantial, I would say like available credit or credit limits. A lot of times with credit unions, you're not really going to get a super high credit limit. Most of the times they pretty much will kind of like tip out at like 40, 50-ish. Yeah, why is all these trolls on Instagram today? Yeah, everyone who purchased the bundle deal, you guys will get the ebooks and the downloadables tomorrow as well. Everyone. Yes. LexisNexis dispute process. What about it? Like, what's your question about it? Credit is so damn stupid. It is stupid. I always say I agree with you. Credit is stupid. A lot of it does not make sense. Like even me, a person that studies it and isn't an expert in it, it's still stupid to me. A lot of things don't make sense. But I always say you either play the game or you get played. It ain't going nowhere, regardless if we don't like it, regardless if we have our issues with it. It is not going anywhere. So you may as well learn it so you can benefit from it as opposed to it beating you. So is it good to apply for a higher limit than you need? I am pro obviously having more available credit than I need because you never want to have to worry about your utilization. You want to be able to have freedom with your credit card so you're not having to penny pinch every little dollar. Me personally, I prefer that, but like I would only recommend it if you are responsible with your credit. If you will hold yourself accountable, if you know you'll pay back whatever you spend, then yes. But if you know that you don't trust yourself and you tend to not be able to budget and stick to it, then maybe you should only apply for a lower limit, or you should only have lower limit credit cards. You know what I mean? Because credit cards obviously can go down a slippery slope if you're not careful with them. Can you get a house loan with a credit score below 600? So I personally would not recommend anyone to get a home loan until they're at least 630, 640. And if you don't have that score, then you need to come to my webinar because that's what I'll be talking about and teaching you how to improve your mortgage score. It's a lot easier than a lot of people realize. Amex, mainly thinking of my Amex and my everyday spender for a high limit. Well, yeah. So, I mean, based on obviously how much you're spending on average, then yeah, like I said, as long as you're responsible, yes. You can purchase, let me put up the banner, at roadto750.net. Roadto750.net. Yep, it is tomorrow evening. Will we get the ebooks? Yes, you'll get it. You'll get it tomorrow if you purchase the bundle. Is non-credit utilization overall? It doesn't matter per card if you have multiple, but one has more, but cumulative of 9 or less. So your FICO 8 score is most dependent on an aggregate utilization, which is just that overall that we're used to dealing with. But when it comes to your mortgage score, it actually depends on per card. So that's something that definitely we'll be talking about. But yes, it does depend on per card if you are trying to specifically target your mortgage scores. Will I lose my credit from the secured account? If the account closes, you will lose some credit days from that account. I'm trying to block this person. How does a voluntary surrender? Oh shit. Okay. Is it the last day to purchase the Masterclass? So the Masterclass is tomorrow. The tickets will be $24.99 up until 3 p.m. tomorrow, and then after that, it is $49.99. And you'll get a copy of the replay even if you can't make it live. I just got my information back from LexisNexis, and it's 64 pages, and you need to clean it. Yeah, that's light though. That's light. You lucky. You ain't got a lot to clean. Mine was like 180, 184. The new DIY kit will release after the class go live. When do you suggest requesting holiday credit limit increase? As close to Black Friday as you can, because that's technically considered the start of like holiday season in terms of like shopping and all of that. So yeah, so pretty much like at the maximum a week before I would go. I wouldn't really go that far before, because a lot of banks don't even consider a holiday season until Thanksgiving, until Black Friday. Eartha, a lot of the lenders that I work with, that's their limit. It will be $1,500 for charge-offs, whether it has to be settled or not. So it really does depend on your lender. But just to be safe, you can settle it, and then you won't have to worry about it. If it's over 4 years old, then my answer would change. But I'm assuming it's new. How do you start cleaning your LexisNexis report? You first have to request it from them, and it's free. And then you go over it and look at any information that you feel is Uranus, you feel is outdated, you feel is just not accurate, doesn't pertain to you, or that you just specifically want to request that they validate. Write them a letter and request an investigation. You would just list everything that you want them to investigate or remove. I like to challenge them in sections, and pretty much in about like 10 different stages, because there are essentially about 10 different reports that really matter. That's how I like to challenge it. Starting with the personal information, because obviously that's just like the backbone of everything. This water, ice water. Ice water. I have a new card, or do I close my old account? If not, what should I do? If you're upgrading your card, a lot of times the bank will keep it within the same account and they'll just upgrade it. Now, sometimes they will make you apply for a new credit card, which will open up a new trade line. That all depends on your bank. You just have to ask them though. An upgrade typically means the same line that's being upgraded. How can I check my mortgage score? So myfico.com is pretty much right now the only place you can check all 3 of your mortgage scores, and they are accurate. They are literally the scores that lenders see. Like, not a point. I've never had an issue where it was even a point off. If your mortgage scores are updated within the MyFICO app, it should be exactly what your lender is pulling. Old back taxes but have an agreement to repay in place. Will this affect it? So most of the times, you per FHA guidelines, or I don't know if you're doing conventional or whatever type of loan, as long as you are on an active payment plan and you are obviously paying it, if you're not in default status or just letting it rest and not repaying it back, then that is a no-go. As long as you have a payment plan in place, most lenders will accept that. You don't see whatever. If you go to road750.net, it should be a pop-up. But if you don't see the pop-up, just click shop, and then you'll see the Homebuyers Masterclass choice. How do I feel about Care Credit? I don't have a problem with Care Credit. I think that they are very reasonable, like in terms of their like approval process. They're through Synchrony, so I mean, Synchrony, they're not really sticklers on credit. And I can understand it. Obviously, healthcare is super expensive. Most people can't afford it, so I get it. Yeah, it's just trolls. Just ignore them. The masterclass should be the first link in my bio. If you click the link in my bio, it's the first option. So they're not using FICO 10T yet. It was just approved. And it's going to take at least my lenders are saying like at least like 2 years to fully implement. So because they're right now is not even widely available. Like the only place you can see your FICO 10T scores, all 3 of them, is my FICO. And it's super expensive right now. So it hasn't been implemented as of yet. It was approved though, meaning like the implementation has to like start, but it's going to probably be like 2 years before every lender is pulling it. Roll to 750.net and you can click shop if it doesn't pop up. Zoom, you'll get the Zoom link and passcode in your email tomorrow. How do you get out of Capital One's bucket? Apply for a card somewhere else. Obviously make sure that your credit profile is favorable for a credit card. And then just apply for another credit card. Yes, shout out to you. Went to the last webinar, closed 46 days after the class. Shout out to you. And congrats. How does a voluntary surrender vehicle mess up your credit? So whether you voluntarily repossess your vehicle or they just repossess it regularly, they both affect your credit the same exact way. So it is a derogatory account. I don't know if your bank is going to charge it off. So as it stands, it'll just be a closed account with a closed account with a balance due. If I can talk. A closed account with the balance due. And so that's always a derogatory account. And obviously it'll say repossession, which is considered a key derogatory, like a charge off. So I like to explain repos the same as charge offs. Like repo does to your credit, whether it's involuntary or voluntary, the same as a charged off account due to your credit, because it's essentially held in the same regard. Yeah, you absolutely can come back from a repossession. You can come back from any thing. You can come back from collection, charge-offs, bank. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no credit event that will just keep you down and out. Like, no, you can always come back, always. How do you get in with Citi? I never had a card, and they keep denying me. Credit is clean. Score is 740. Typically speaking, Citi will only deny people with like that range. Let me ask you a question. Is it a fluff 740 or do you have any AU accounts? You had 2 charge-offs deleted, period. Shout out to Eartha. Any help on maintaining credit after paying all debt? Absolutely. Making sure that you only report a utilization under 10%, because you reporting it and how much you use your credit card are 2 totally different things, of course. The only time that your utilization comes into play is on your statement date. That's the only time that the credit bureaus are privy to how much you're spending or how you're maintaining your credit cards. That's all they care about. All they want to know is when that billing cycle closed, how much money when that billing cycle closed, how much did you fail to pay back? That's all they care about. So on your statement date, which is the last day of your billing cycle, your bank will send the report to the credit bureaus, and then the credit bureaus will report that as your utilization for the next month until they get another update on your next statement date. So they don't know how many times you used your card this month. They don't even know if you maxed out your card. They don't know. The only thing they know is what your balance was on your statement date. So as long as you make sure you reduce your balance, whatever you didn't spend, you have a $500 credit limit and you spend $500 during a month, that's not a bad thing. You're not just limited to 10%, 20%, or 30% of your credit card. You're not limited to a certain percentage. What you do have to make sure is that by the time that billing cycle closed, you paid back at least 90% of what you spent, because you always want to have a reported utilization of under 10%. That is going to always make sure that your credit score is healthy. You're going to have what's considered a healthy credit profile, a low risk score, meaning like lenders will trust you more. You'll get higher credit limits. You'll get more favorable terms for loans. You'll get the best interest rates and things like that. That's what I mean when I say like your profile has to match up with your score or be better than your score. No, a pay charge, I definitely won't keep you from getting a home. No. Right, exactly. And not to mention FICO 10T is starting now. Yeah. So FICO 10T was recently released. For those of you who don't know what FICO 10T is, it's the newest version of our credit score. It's the newest version of FICO. And what it does and how it's different from all of the other scores that we've had in the past is it considers trended data. And trended data just means that instead of a lender, when they pull your credit, if a lender pulls your credit, if you apply for Capital One right now, Capital One will pull your credit. That will result in a hard inquiry on your credit report, right? That hard inquiry on our current mortgage scores, if they were to put it today, they would only see a screenshot of your credit, like a frozen in time. What was your credit? What was the status of every account on your credit report when I pulled your credit? What was the utilization that you're reporting on all of your credit cards? They can only see the current month. They can only see things that are happening right now. They can't see a history of anything that went on before they asked to pull your credit report. If you got something deleted, if an account was open last month and maybe it closed this month, the only thing they'll see is that it closed. If you had high utilization 2 months ago, but then you have since paid down your utilization, they are going to see your current utilization. They'll see a screenshot, a snapshot, an image frozen in time of where your credit stands today. But then with FICO 10T, they'll see trended data for the first time, meaning as opposed to seeing a screenshot, they're seeing the entire movie. They're seeing a full 24 months history on every single account on your credit report. So they're able to see the patterns. Do you usually report high utilization? Are you a person that maybe sometimes report high utilization, but overall on average, you're pretty good with your utilization? So that is big because they've never been able to see that much. So FICO 10T has just unveiled. So the things that you're doing now, because it's going to take about 1 or 2 years for FICO 10T to kind of fully take over. It was approved to be used in mortgage lending like 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, it's being accepted widely. It's definitely going to be, I think it's going to replace FICO 8, which is the current winner in terms of how many lenders use it or whatever, right? So yeah, start preparing now, meaning like you need to make sure that the utilization you're reporting now is under 10% so that in 2 years, when every lender is pulling FICO 10T, you're great. You're amazing. Because if you have consistently reported a low utilization, that's going to benefit your FICO 10T scores astronomically, like literally astronomically. And remember, they go back 2 years. It's going to take literally, if you read official reports for FICO 10T right now, they're literally telling you it's being accepted, it's starting to get approved and accepted now. It's going to take 1 to 2 years to fully take place or to fully be implemented. They're telling you this in official documents. So you can sit and not do anything right now and think that, you know, in a year or two, when you start hearing about it and hearing lenders pull it, you can decide you want to move then. But remember, it's trended data. You can't make an immediate change to trended data. So it's a pattern thing. Yes, ma'am. And it was approved to be used in mortgages. Yes, the Homebuyers Masterclass is tomorrow evening. Why won't my water bottle close? The Homebuyers Masterclass is tomorrow evening. I had a car accident and my car insurance didn't pay it. They have it on my credit as a repo. Yeah. So technically speaking, did you have gap? Because technically speaking, that may be considered a repossession, unfortunately. Even if like times where your car will get repossessed and you get it back the same day, that's still considered a repossession in terms of your credit report. Thank you. I got a burp. I drank a Sprite today. I should have never did it. I haven't had a soda in a while. Why do you think they're changing the game like this? I mean, I have my own theory, but my theory is not what is. So FICO 8 is, like I said, it's the most widely used version of our credit scores. FICO 9 is also out, but a lot of people don't pay attention to it because it's really considered like the felon or the fallen credit score. No lenders liked FICO 9. And I want to say, and I believe that it's because it was heavily consumer like leaning, meaning like to me, it was more beneficial to consumers than it was to lenders. which is why lenders don't like it. Like, it started forgiving you for paying collections. It started not counting medical bills or medical collections in the same, no, not medical collections. It started not counting certain collections under $100. It would literally ignore them as though it was not there. So it was making people's credits, like, your FICO 9 score is definitely probably higher than your FICO 8 score. Lenders hate FICO 9. This is why they never switched to it. So I have a theory that FICO 10T was put out so that, because it's super, in my opinion, lender facing. Like, if I was a lender, I would absolutely pull FICO 10T. Absolutely, because it gives you the most information that a lender has ever been able to get on one inquiry on a consumer. So it would make sense from a lender why they would want to pull FICO 10T, which is why I said y'all asses better prepare, because I say by next year it's gonna get there. My eye itch. So this process will be used in 2 years. I missed the first part. We're just talking about FICO 10T, but the Homebuyers Masterclass, we're focusing on FICO 2, 4, and 5, which is like the ones that the mortgage scores that lenders are currently pulling. Every lender right now is still pulling FICO 2, 4, and 5, and they're probably going to do so for another 2 years. So if you're trying to buy a home within the next 2 years, FICO 2, 4, and 5, the webinar tomorrow will be based on that for sure. And I'll touch on FICO 10T, but obviously I'm trying to get your mortgage now. So we're going to talk about the scores now. Damn, I can't even, oh. Let me see. May you explain what date you should pay your credit card if you are someone who pays it in full? Well, regardless if you pay it in full or how you pay your credit card, you still need to be aware of both days. So obviously your due date, which is when you need to pay at least your minimum payment by to avoid any late payments. If you are paying your credit card in full, I personally pay my credit card in full by my due date. Because any balance you leave over past your due date is what your bank will charge you interest on. So I don't like paying interest. So I pay my full balance off by my due date. But because it's never a good idea to report a 0% utilization to the credit bureaus, I always make sure that I make a small purchase before my statement date. So my statement dates are about a week, and then on some cards, 2 weeks after my due date. So I'll just make a small purchase of at least 1%, maybe get gas or whatever, and make sure I'll leave that to report until my statement date passes. And then, it's game time. It's repeat the cycle over. Excuse me. Yeah, you can place a lock on all 3 of your credit reports for free. You can just call the credit bureaus. And that'll just basically, anytime you try to open an account, or before you open an account, or before they even release your information to any lender, they have to call you on the number that you specify. It's annoying if you are like actively applying for something. So I typically will take it off when I'm like actively applying for something, and then after I'll like put it back on, because it can be a headache for sure. Yes, the Masterclass is still on sale. It is $24.99 until tomorrow. After tomorrow, it will be $49.99. So if you purchase it right now, regardless if you can make the class tomorrow, you'll still get a copy. And everyone who purchases the ticket for $24.99 will get the copy of the replay as well as the presentation slides. But even if you can't make it and you want to see it, secure it now at $24.99, so you won't have to pay $49.99. Thank you. Girl, yeah, I bite my lip. I just joined. Oh, yes, yeah, MG. Yep, MG the mortgage guy. He's a lender, so I cover the credit side, and then he covers the lender side. So it's more than what I'm saying. You guys will be learning way more. It's just I don't be wanting to mess up the words on the lending side, because that's like a foreign language to me. I leave that to the experts. I'm the credit. Yeah, I know I'm credit. Anything you want to know about credit, we can talk about all day, every day. But lending, he's an expert in that, so I leave it up to him. But you'll learn everything about your mortgage scores credit-wise, and then from MG, you'll learn from a lender what your lenders are looking for, things that you need to avoid. I'll even be talking about letters of explanation. So if you do have, maybe credit events that are not favorable to you, maybe a late payment or something, what do you need to do or turn into your lender to, allow you to still be approved for a home and stuff like that. Yep, tomorrow. Everyone will get the code and all of that tomorrow. Everyone. We always send out the links and the passcode the day of. If you've ever joined any of my webinars in the past, we send it out the same day. What most webinars do. But you get a confirmation email from my website immediately because it's a website purchase. You'll get your email. And if you didn't see your email, check your spam, check your junk, check your promotions folder. Sometime, especially with Gmail, obviously if I'm not in your contacts, it'll go to like your promotions or spam. But just search Road to 750, it should come up. Yep, customer service is info@roadto750.net. If you have any issues with the website or anything, you can always email customer service. You don't have to wait till after you fix your credit? What you mean? To do what? Yeah, I have posts talking about the FICO 10T, but it's probably far down because the thing is they've been teasing it for over 2 years. So I've been talking about it for like 2 years, and it finally came out. It kind of took a pause with COVID. Golly, my water bottle is crazy. But I have a few videos. I need to make an updated one though. I made one like 2 weeks ago. So if you kind of scroll, I ain't posted it a lot. So it should be within the last 6-7 videos. Yeah, even if you already purchased a home, you can still come. I have a lot of real estate agents that always come to my home buyers masterclasses when I have had it in the past. A lot of real estate agents and lenders always come, always, just because so they can help their clients. But even if you've already purchased a home, if you're trying to sell your current home and if you're trying to buy another one, regardless, it'll still help you because we're talking about mortgage scores. So if you're ever going to need or use your mortgage scores, yeah. Exactly. I'm a realtor. I went last time and will be joining this time. Shout out to y'all with her whole firm, period. Is it easy to get a high credit limit with Capital One Quicksilvers? What do you consider high credit? Not with a Capital One Quicksilvers. I think that they typically will top out. I really haven't seen many people with a Quicksilver over like 15, if I'm being honest. But it depends on what you consider a high limit because it just depends. Where do you purchase your ticket? At roadto750.net. Yeah, I have the burps. I don't know why. I'm just like burping all in your face. Sorry. Can you touch back on 90% of your credit purchase again? Yeah. So basically the goal is to buy your statement date, have your balance under 10% of whatever your credit card limit is. So if you have a $500 credit card, you want to make sure that by your statement date, your balance is under $50. If you have a $300 credit card, you want to make sure that by your statement date, your balance is under $30. Even if you use the full $300, even if you had a bill that was $299 and you paid that on that credit card, you should do that so you can get your points. But pay that back by your statement date. Yeah, you can find your statement date on any of your credit card statements. It's the last day of the billing cycle. No, it's roadto750.net. Yeah, Capital One is a little stingy. They're a little stingy. If Navian is under deferment, why are they reporting you late? Because I got to my score dropped 142 points. I'm feeling discouraged. Yeah, that must be a mistake. Because if you are on a deferment, I will confirm my deferment and then I will call up Navient to have them change that immediately. Because I know it's frustrating, but I have seen that mistake happen where it was just a mistake and it was corrected. So don't get discouraged. Don't, get overwhelmed. Simply just, if you are on a deferment, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just as simple as them sending a updated report to the credit bureaus, which they should have no problem doing if you can prove that you're on a deferment. You have to call them though. What bank gives the highest limits? American Express and Chase, in my experience. You want your home before it takes effect. Do you have a video on top picks for credit card? Yeah, I have a lot of videos on credit cards. But look, and we definitely will be talking about credit cards tomorrow because, obviously we got to touch on building credit. But my favorite picks for credit cards, my favorite beginner cards are Discover It, Capital One Platinum, Pedal 2, the Citi Secured MasterCard, Capital One Quicksilver, Capital One Platinum. I think I said that already. Chase Freedom Student, Self-Secured, Chime Credit Builder Card, or Chase Slate Edge. Those are like my favorite beginner cards. My favorite mid-tier cards are Citi Custom Cash, Citi Double Cash, American Express Gold, Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Freedom Flex, Chase Freedom Unlimited, the Apple Card, basically all the Navy Federal credit cards. So that's mid-tier. And then my favorite top-tier cards would be American Express Platinum, Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Citi Premier. Why I put that on top tier? I had the Delta Sky Miles, but I would really put that mid-tier. Should I pay collections before I purchase a home? So that's a big topic that we definitely going to discuss tomorrow, because not all collections are created equal, because not all collections should be paid. If your collection is over 3 to 4 years old, it actually would be to your detriment to pay that now, like in the process. It'll actually bring the account current. A lot of people don't realize that mortgage scores, like we're talking about outdated scores. Any account that just sits dormant on your credit report for more than 24 months is typically removed from the calculation of your mortgage scores, because it's just considered like a ghost account, a dead account. It's done. When you pay it, you bring that account back active. So regardless of the balance on your collection account, it'll still be counted as a collection, and you paying it, even though you've reduced the balance from whatever it was to zero, you brought that account back active. So you brought it back into the forefront, back into the calculations of your mortgage score, and you will pay it, and you'll see your mortgage scores will actually decrease, because it'll look as though you have a new collection account. Can you repeat the list? The whole list? Wait, actually, if you're on YouTube, I'll just share it. I'll just share it real quick. So these are my favorite beginner cards. Let me make it smaller. Do you think it's a good time to get a house with the interest rate going up? So any lender or anyone will tell you, you marry the purchase price of the house, and you date the rate. You date the rate. A lot of the time, right now, a lot of the purchase price is going down. I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to give away, I guess, identifiable information, but I just can make a general statement. The home, if you're buying a home right now, if you're buying the same home that I just bought right now, the price is cheaper. The price is lower. Literally, the price is lower than what I was contracted to pay, because I was in a market where, the interest rates were lower, but the purchase prices were higher. So the shit is evening out now. Like, I mean, if you asking me, I just bought a house literally in this market. So exactly, you date the rate and you buy a house, because you can always refinance. That's one thing about it. You can always if a lower rate comes out in 2 months, guess what? I'm gonna be right in the line to refinance my mortgage rate. No, I didn't get lucky with the 3%. Not on this property. I didn't get lucky with that 3%. If you got lucky with that 3%, that's a once in a lifetime chance. If you're thinking it's going to go back to COVID numbers, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life, or probably to the next, probably in the next maybe 20 years, if you're going to wait that long. No, not the house that I'm in. I got this one at 3.3. I wasn't in the 2. Some people got 2.8. I'm jealous, because I wasn't in the market then. If you only have medical bills on your credit, should I pay or dispute? So regardless of what type of collections you have, the first instinct should not be just to be to pay, for sure. No, you always make sure that they validate it. So especially with medical, send the HIPAA letters. You got 2.75. Oh my God. So you never want to sell that house, do you? Be honest. 2.3. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm definitely jealous if you got 2. I'm jealous if you got anything under 3. I did not get lucky. I was just not in the market. Like, I was just not in the market. It was COVID. Like, I just wasn't. Nah, it just wasn't my time. It really wasn't. But I did get a 3.3, which is better than my current rate that I have in San Diego. Yeah, I'm in Texas. You never selling it. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you if you got 2.3. You would like, man, no, we'll never see those rates again. Oh, mid-tier cars, my bad, my bad. And this is not a complete list. These are just like my go-tos, like my never fails, my I will be comfortable recommending it to my mom, to my like these are these ones. You know what I mean? Like it's thousands of credit cards in the world, but these are like my go-tos, like the ones that like they're gonna do it every time. Anytime that I've ever recommended any of these cards to someone, they've never complained. They've always been like, okay, I really like this card, or I really, etc. Yeah, you got lucky with that 2.7 for shit show. Yeah, 3.3 is good. It's good. It's great, especially considering now I didn't just close with a 3.3, so I definitely still appreciate the 3.3. But I'm just saying, people got 2 point, 2 point whatever. I'm a realtor, and this will come in handy. Just did the DIY masterclass. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Yes. A lot. I always have like a special place in my heart for real estate agents, just because, like I said, y'all know that's where I started. Like I used to only work with mortgage scores, and then I kind of branched out to all personal credit scores. But like my baby is mortgage scores. I just love it. Yeah, top tier really is super incomplete because I can even think of a few more, but those are like my go-tos. Gas credit cards will be mid-tier. Mid-tier credit cards are considered like everyday spenders for the everyday average consumer. They'll reward you for the things that the everyday person does, like gas, grocery shopping, what else? Food, whatever else we buy, paying bills and stuff like that. A top tier card is pretty much going to reward you for mostly travel. Like most top tier cards are really heavily travel based or heavy purchase based, meaning like some cards will give you 4% if you spent over $5,000, $6,000. Oh, on my porch. Oh, okay. I got a package. I was gonna say, they'll reward you for large purchases, but that's not practical for everyday use. You're not taking a flight every day. You're not spending $5,000. Well, shit, I don't know. I don't know if you are, but most people are not spending $5,000 every day on a single purchase. Do you think gas cards are a waste of time like store cards? Yeah. I mean, they fall in the same category as retail cards or store cards. I do. Only because how much? Well, it depends on if you're in like the trucking industry or if you use gas like that. I can get it, but like most of the times, you better off just getting a regular credit card that gives you benefits for gas. Like you can even get a City Custom Cash, a Chase Freedom Flex, and still get 3-4% on gas purchases. And that's the same. And now you also have the flexibility of spending it on other things and being rewarded for other types of spending, as opposed to just having a gas card. You're stuck to one gas station. Yeah, and then yeah. But if you're in the trucking industry, absolutely, you use that much gas to where it does make sense. But most people don't. Like, how much are you actually spending in gas a month? Gas high as hell, but we still ain't spending. Well, let me not speak for everyone. I mean, it's just not usual to spend maybe thousands of dollars a month on gas, just for the average everyday person. Not in the trucking industry. Not if your industry is heavily reliant on driving, obviously. But I'm talking about just the everyday average person. Most people really not spending that much gas to justify having a gas card as opposed to just a regular credit card that rewards you for gas purchases. Yes, somebody said, "Are we gonna have a wine again for the class?" Definitely get your wine. If you got your girlfriends, whatever, your friends, your family, get your wine, get a notebook, and come to the class. It's always a vibe. Yeah, we ready. I want to vibe, but I want to learn. But we can have a good time for sure. Like, I definitely want y'all to have y'all glass ready so y'all can learn. Everybody comfortable. It's a family meeting. That's how I like to. The tone is set. It's a family meeting. It's not. Don't think of it as like a college course where I'm finna just be. I am gonna be yapping. I'm not gonna hold you. I am gonna be yapping. But we're gonna be jamming. But we're gonna be learning. We're gonna be learning. Yeah, the class is live. It's tomorrow night. Last time you had soft music playing in a wine glass and we learned and kicked it on. Exactly. That's what I want. That's what I want. Like, let's vibe and learn. It ain't a college course. Like, we're all adults. You have a goal to purchase a home. I have a goal to teach you how to get to your home. So let's just come and have a good time. I know you should do them in person. So we actually was, and then COVID kind of, and I haven't really picked that back up, but I am considering doing it traveling. It's 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. I want to apply for an increase on Black Friday, but 1% of my cars won't be under 10%. Will be about 50%. Should I just wait? Oh, that's a high percentage. I don't recommend applying with that high of a utilization, because even if you are approved for the car that you want, the limit that they approve you for is going to be like way lower than what you probably qualify for based on your utilization. But your current cards, I would apply for an increase. Oh, you did just say an increase. Well, I don't know, because it depends on if you got Amex or Chase. They don't like high utilization, and they're extremely, utilization heavy. Yeah, my FICO has identity theft. I'm sorry, LaShawna, I didn't see that. My bad. Yeah, most of my credit monitoring apps, but my FICO does. Smart Credit as well. Come to Cali. Cali is one of my top destination in terms of like my followers across my platforms. It's Cali, Chicago, St. Louis, obviously, because that's home. Houston, Dallas, Atlanta. Yeah. Is it true to not remove increase from open accounts? That is very true. You never want to jeopardize and risk your lender closing the entire account. Trying to dispute an inquiry. An inquiry will not affect your credit that much, nor if you get it removed, it's not going to help your credit that much. You're not going to be, your credit is not going to be considered better just because that one inquiry is removed. You know what I mean? However, if you get that account closed, you're losing credit age, you messed up the relationship with the bank. I promise you it's not worth it. Not for an inquiry. Not for an inquiry for sure. It's a service that you have to pay for. Yeah, my FICO it's a monthly plan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on Experian app, you can lock your Experian score for free though. So, is it for free or just under their paid plan? Let me not say for free, because I have their paid plan. So I don't know if they still allow that feature for the free account. So wait, don't take that as Bible. I don't know. Yeah, this ice water. What time is it? Why does it seem so late? I think it's because I got up at 4:00 this morning. Yeah. Oh, you can for somebody. Look, some people saying not free, some people saying paid. So I don't know. Just go. But either way, I do know what is free. Like if you go to Experian and you just want your Experian FICO score, it's free. I do know that for sure. They will give you your Experian FICO score for free. So if you are just clueless as to what if you're used to looking at Credit Karma or other like credit monitoring apps, and you are curious to see what your real credit score is, your FICO score, you can download Experian and you'll get your Experian score for free. Now, if you want your Equifax as well as your TransUnion, you can get that through Experian. You do have to pay, I think it's like $24 a month or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. How much is Experian a month, y'all? Because I'm grandfathered on the 1999 plan. I've had them that long, but I know that they like damn near $30 now. I don't know. They like 20 something. I don't know. Just pay for. Oh, okay. So some people saying it's free. Yeah. Oh, it's $24.99. $24.99. Okay. So it's $24.99 if you want all three of your FICO scores. No, it's not $19.99 no more for everybody. I think we still grandfathered on the old plan. Do you have a class for money management plans for savings and paying off debt? So I don't currently have a class like that, because I usually like to only do classes focusing on credit. But I do free lives and stuff, and I talk about mainly credit. I don't have a class on that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. No, I'm live on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. You said I'm not paying y'all no attention. I am, girl. I am. No, the webinar will be an actual webinar. Like you'll see the screen. It'll be a presentation. Like we get on live and we joke, we have fun, we learn a little bit. But the webinar, we gonna learn. We gonna learn. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna learn for shit show. It's a lot more. I wouldn't say formal, because I'm just not formal in general. I'm a very casual person, but we definitely gonna be learning. and it'll be more I guess concentrated, less interruptions and stuff. Topic based, exactly. Yep, we will take questions. Yep. I don't know why I always forget to tell you guys that. Yeah, so there we will take questions. And yeah. So I have a total of 3 days things on my credit. Three things on my credit. One a self account, one a Victoria's Secret account, and a personal loan that all closed. Okay, so you're gonna need active trade lines. I recommend that you get at least one credit card, but if you know that you can handle two, maybe piggyback into it. Get one credit card and then get a short-term installment, you said you have a self account. If you had a self account, if you have perfect payment history with that self account, if you did not close it early, then that's fine. You don't need another short-term installment right now. I would just focus on having an active credit card because you need an active credit card for sure. No, a loan cannot replace what a credit card will do for your credit profile. What if I can't get approved for any credit card on your beginner list? So that would just lead me to believe that maybe your credit has some derogatory information on there to where you may fall into the subprime tier right now until you are able to work your way out of that and get to the starter, mid-tier, and top tier credit cards. If you have collections and charge-offs or other accounts that maybe you closed and maybe had late payments with or charge-offs or whatever, then you can't start at the starter beginner cards, because beginner and starter cards are for people who have yet to build credit, and maybe the 18-year-old that doesn't have a credit score, or the adult that just maybe are getting their first credit card or whatever. So if you don't have any credit, you didn't mess up your credit, but you haven't built credit yet, that's where beginner cards are for. But like subprime cards are for people who may have messed up their credit. You have collections, charge-offs, or something like that, and you still need to build credit. Nothing wrong with starting with a subprime card. Nothing wrong with starting with a secure card. I've had both, literally. But they help you build your credit. They help you be able to qualify for better credit cards, and you can close them after you're done with them. After they've played their role, you can, if you want to, you can close them. JJ, yes, but we'll obviously talk about the changes and things that's happened since then. But it's definitely it's based on that. So if you attended that, it's the same base information as that. How to improve your mortgage scores. Why are my friends texting so much on the group chat? If you fall behind on a credit card payment, how do you boost your score after getting back on track? So if this is kind of like an isolated event where you're not usually late and maybe you fell behind a month or two, I would go to my credit card company and I would ask them for a goodwill adjustment. I wouldn't do so like on the phone with customer service. If you tell me what company you have, I will see if I have their email. But if I don't have their email, I would just mail them a goodwill adjustment letter to their headquarters and basically asking for forgiveness. Yep, you have to reserve a spot for the Masterclass tomorrow. Yep, you can reserve your spot right now if you basically today and half of tomorrow, because the tickets go off sale at the $24.99 rate at 3 p.m. It'll be $24.99. But if you wait until after that, the class and the bundle deal will go up to $49.99 for just the class. Go to roadto750.net to secure your ticket to the Masterclass. Masterclass is $24.99. Someone said how much? $24.99. How do I get a late payment removed from a closed account? If it's like charged off, you never gonna get that removed. If it's a closed account that was just closed and maybe it was a loan and you finished paying it off, then I would dispute that late payment with the credit bureau. Well, I would ask them to validate it. I would ask them to validate their late payment, and if they can't validate it, then they'll update it. The class is 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And if you already purchased a ticket, or if you purchased a ticket now, everyone will get their code, their entry link tomorrow to your email that you use to purchase the ticket. After opening 2 subprime cards, how long should I wait until I try mid-tier? 6 months or a year? Obviously, your stakes are going to be better at least I would wait till a year. I would wait till a year if you went from subprime. If you went from starter, sometimes you can start applying at 6 months. But since you're at subprime, I would wait a year for your best approval odds and better limits and stuff like that. Do you know the score apartments or landlords view to approve you? Most of the time they're pulling FICO 8 because it's the cheapest one in, like, it's the cheapest score. So most lenders and most rentals would just pull FICO 8. Obviously other things determine it, like your rental history and stuff, but in terms of credit score, typically FICO 8. Typically. Thank you for helping me with my journey. Hubby and I are now over 750. Ooh, shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Congrats. Where did you guys come from? I'm 29. Well, I'm finna start saying I'm 30 because I'm finna be 30 on November 16th. Ooh, in 10 days. In 10 days. In 10 days. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm finna be 30 in 10 days. 10 freaking days. That's so fucking crazy. Wow. We don't have a course on how to start a credit repair business at this time, maybe in the future. Oh, that's Robin. Hey, Robin. If they do validate it, then what's next? Well, it depends on how if they actually validate it. If they send you a copy of the contract bearing your signature or anything bearing your signature, that is considered legal validation. If they send you a letter from the original creditor outlining them as the current owner of the debt, that is legal validation. If you pay a collection, that's legal validation. And then if they send you a bill, that's not legal validation. There's no, you do not, you don't have to accept that as validation of the debt because the bill does not validate the account. It only validates the amount that they are claiming that you owe, but it doesn't validate anything else on the account. You're 30 already, less than 30 days. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I just be saying 30 now. I kind of like saying 30. You got a ring to it. It just feels real grown. Like I'm 30. I'm not in my 20s anymore. Yeah, I remember when my mom turned 30, and I remember as a kid thinking that was so, like, she was so grown. Like, I literally remember when she turned 30, and I was like, wow, like she's 30. And then now I'm 30, and I'm like, damn, I kind of still feel like a kid. I feel like I should know more at 30. Like I should be more, I have more wisdom. 30 just seemed, I don't know, just so pivotal as a child. How do I proceed with recent charge-offs? Well, make sure that you have current credit cards that are open, and hopefully at least 2. Because anything that happens to your credit, yeah, my fucking water bottle is like broke, and this water bottle already was overpriced. Okay, yeah, my favorite water bottle. But what was I talking about? I forgot what I was talking about. That quick. Yeah, yeah. Credit bootcamp is still on the site, but that's not what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing a Homebuyers Masterclass. And you heard me. I feel yeah. Yeah, 30 seemed like it should come with a little more. I don't know. If I have CC debt, 7K across 3 cars, should I pay them off in full via consolidation, selling off a stock, or 401k loan? Ooh, okay. 7K across 3 cars. What is your utilization? That's the most important part. What is your utilization? I don't know if I would sell. I wouldn't sell off stock, me personally. Yeah, about charge-offs. So most people or most things that you want to apply for, like if let's say you are wanting to apply for a credit card, typically speaking, most banks will require you to be at least 18 months post charge-offs if they are going to approve you for a credit card, a car loan, or a credit limit increase. They want you at least 18 months post charge-off, because if anything under or any charge-offs younger than 18 months is still considered like a new charge-off. So obviously they're like, nope, we're not approving you for any more credit because you just, that account just charged off. So obviously you were having some financial issues. So we're not gonna touch you right now. Most companies, if you apply for a credit card, they already have automatic denials in place for any charged off accounts within 18 months. So I always typically say 18 months for anything after a charge off. 6 months after a new account. So if, let's say, you just got a car, for your best approval odds for a credit card in terms of your limit and all of that, I would recommend that you wait at least 6 months. Are you familiar with the secure card with Navy Federal? Yes, that's a good secure card. For secure cards, Capital One, Discover, Citi, and Navy Federal will have my favorite secure cards. How old is too old to purchase a home? Is there ever? I mean, I don't think that there's a cutoff age for purchasing a home personally. I mean, I don't think it's a cutoff. It's people of all ages purchase homes every day. Yeah, girl, I drank a McDonald's Sprite, and they Sprite got like crack in it. It's not like a regular Sprite. Why is my first Premier reporting my account charged off every month? Is it within 6 months of it being charged off? When you get a bankruptcy, if you file bankruptcy, does that automatically disqualify you from purchasing a home? No, it doesn't automatically disqualify you. Oh, it's still on that same list. My bad. Yeah, these was my personal notes. This not for public consumption. That's why I was like sloppy. I meant to dress it up and post it on Instagram. But y'all, lately, man, I've been so busy for some reason. I follow you on your personal. You do seem like you're always out of town. Girl, my suitcase is right here from a trip, and I literally have to empty it and pack it again, like right the day after the webinar. Yeah, blessings though, blessings. Just get tired. Yeah, I like Discover. How can you improve your mortgage score? If you want to know the answer, make sure you come to my Homebuyers webinar tomorrow, my Masterclass tomorrow. It's $24.99, and we'll talk it's a deep dive into your mortgage scores. Mortgage scores like you've never imagined them before. Like every little thing that goes into your mortgage scores, we will discuss. Like everything. I saw you at Invest Fest. Been a fan since. Have amassed over 20K in limits since then. Oh, shout out to you. Yes, Invest Fest was so fun. Yes, Invest Fest was everything. No, we won't be teaching about how to buy a home under your LLC on this webinar. This is like just for person, like your credit, like just the everyday person. Not this one. Maybe that one, a different one, but definitely I don't even want to get your hopes up. If you're thinking that we're going to teach that, don't waste your money. We're not even going to touch on that. It's just not this webinar. The class is 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. But if you can't make it live, you'll still be sent the copy of the replay. Even if you do make it live, you still will be sent the copy of the replay. Everyone who purchases the class gets a copy of the replay for life. It's yours to keep. You can download. You can share it with whoever you want, your people, your friends, family, friends. I don't care. You can share it with whoever you feel like will take the information and apply it. Is your Homebuyers Masterclass good for people who want to buy rental properties? Well, if you are going to use your personal credit score to obtain the properties, like, obviously getting mortgage loans, then yes, it does. Yes. MG is a real estate investor though. Like he does that. Like that's his whole dig. Your advice work wonders. My credit score has improved 80 points. Ooh, shout out. Is your name Bree or is that just, I think that's just, yeah, Breon. Shout out to you, Bree. Congrats. What app will the reply be on? What app will the reply be on? What you mean? Like, what are you talking to somebody in the comment? What app will the reply be on? Oh, replay. We're sending you a protected link that you'll be able to download the video if you want, or you can go back to the video on our platform for up to 6 months. But if you want to keep, you can keep it forever, but you have to download it. And you'll be able to just literally click download, and it can download to your phone, or if you're on a computer. Probably should do it on a computer because it's going to take up a lot of storage. It's going to be over 3 hours. Or you can just email it to yourself. Put it in your Google Dropbox or whatever. Most people just keep it in their Dropbox. What's a good secure card to get? My favorite ones are Citi Secure Card, Discover It Secure, Capital One Platinum, no particular order, or Navy Federal Secure Card. Yep, $24.99. Am I able to purchase the class at a later time? So if you don't purchase it by 3 p.m. tomorrow, then the price will increase to $49.99 after it goes live. And I just do that with all my webinars. If you get it live, you always get it at the best price. After the fact, it's more expensive. The replay from this live, it'll be on Instagram. Is this the course needed to move forward with Bank of America homeowner loans? Yeah, if you are trying to qualify for any mortgage loan, this is, yeah, we'll be talking about mortgage scores in general, and also we'll cover loan types, but yes. But it ain't specific to Bank of America's program, if that's what you're asking. It's not specific to their program, no. If I joined the last Homebuyers Masterclass, should I join this one? So the information didn't change. The information didn't change in terms of how to improve your mortgage score. So I just wouldn't feel comfortable with saying like purchase this and it's the same base information. It'll be a few updates, but like you don't gotta purchase this again, because it's still the same ways that I taught on how to improve your mortgage scores. I'll be teaching it again. Yes, we will have a Q&A at the end of it. Yes, I'm live on YouTube as well. Yeah, I'm in Texas. I'm on Central Time Zone, but I always like do everything on Eastern Time Zone because I'm just used to dealing on Eastern Time Zone, and most people are. But it's going to be 5 to 8 from Central Time. Yeah, 5 to 8 Central Time. Yeah, I'm in Texas. You was wondering why I was doing Eastern, because I just moved from Virginia and I just had gotten used to like doing everything Eastern, so I just stick to it that way. I think my website is still in Eastern Time Zone. Yes, Eartha. Can you get a pay to delete for a charge off? Yeah, Eden. Oh, I think you're talking about somebody in the comments. Roll to 750.net to get your ticket to the webinar, or it's the first link in any of my bios. The link, if you go to the link in my bios. Is it bad to pay your credit card as soon as you use it? No, it's not bad at all. Well, most credit card companies will make you wait until the payments post or until the transactions post, because typically it'll pin for like 2 to 3 days. But yeah, I make a habit of paying my credit cards maybe once a week, every few days. Sometimes it just depends. Roll to 750.net. Let me see if I can pin it. Dang, I forgot. TikTok don't let you pin comments. Yeah. Trying to get my consumer report from LexisNexis is a hassle. The code never works. When that happened to me, you can never reach a live representative. I always reach live representatives at LexisNexis. What number are you calling? Yeah, I know that's usually, it's easier to reach them in my experience than like the credit bureaus. I'm preparing to buy a home in 2 years with a webinar cover FICO 10T. So we definitely will cover FICO 10T, but it's heavily focused on 2, 4, and 5. So, but the only, let me just tell you now, the only difference from FICO 10T and any other score is the trended data. So that's only going to be you reporting consistently a low utilization. That's the only pretty much difference in terms of FICO 10T. What number am I calling? I was thinking that. I was like, why didn't I just give her the number that I was calling? Let me see. Let me search my little Rolodex. Oh, you talking to me? No, you're not gonna get a pay to delete on a charge off. No, because the company has to agree, and typically a company is not gonna agree to it. So I call 1-800-543-6862, and off the top of my head, I want to say I pushed 2, but listen to the options, because sometimes they change it. And then you can always try 00000. I always do that when I call anybody. I just 00000, and then eventually get you to a representative. Has FICO 10T not gone live yet? Yes. So it went live. I did a freaking lip pill in my lip pill, but anyways, it went live already, but no one is like accepting it as of yet, because it just went live like a few months ago. You can see it on my FICO. That's the only place you can see it as of right now. You was not able to do so? What is it? Let me go to the website. Actually, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go share my screen and go to the website. Roll to 750.net. And then when you go to the homepage, if you wait like 2 seconds, it's gonna automatically pop up. Or if it doesn't pop up, you can just push shop. But let me go back so I can share my screen. Stop screen, present, share screen, window. Where's the window? Right here. All right, so if you go to the website, let me refresh it. So we go onto the website. Did it refresh? As you can see, it'll pop up and then you click on it and then it takes you literally right to the masterclass. If it doesn't pop up, just click shop at the top and then you'll see it. Yeah, the website accepts any debit or credit card. Girl, the lip peel is by, I think, is it by Sephora? I gotta see I'm gonna put it on my story because I don't know. I got it from Sephora. This employee recommended it to me. I like it, but it's just, I want to bite my lips. I want to bite like the skin off, and you're not supposed to. Have you ever did a chemical peel? Not yet. I want to do one so bad though. I'm just like, I'm scared. Credit score staying the same. Is it because my American Express limit is high? That shouldn't be. I mean, what's your utilization? Your limit being high wouldn't necessarily make your score stay the same. So I wouldn't say that have any correlation at all. Some correlation, obviously, because every account on your credit report will determine your credit score. Oh, the number again for LexisNexis. Shit, did I exit out? Dang. Okay, yeah. Did somebody remember what I said? Oh, I gotta go all the way back. 1-800-543-6862. 1-800-543-6862. Kendra, hi. How you doing? Shout out to Shonda. Finally got my car for 2.74, period. We don't do high APR cars, period. Good job. Great job. Congratulations. That's you. You did that. You did that. I can't even take the credit because I can give free information every day and you can just sit here, listen. You cannot listen and you cannot apply. A lot of people listen but don't apply. So kudos to you for applying the knowledge that's given. That says a lot about you. And you deserve that. Does it matter if you freeze them or not? No. What freeze what? Your mortgage scores? What? Or maybe you're talking to somebody else. What's the FICO 8 score good for? Right now, everything, because that's the one that most lenders pull as of right now, FICO 8. When you buy cars, credit cards, loans, and like anything pretty much you apply for right now, they're going to pull a FICO 8. Except if it's a home loan, if you're applying for a mortgage, they're going to pull a FICO 2, 4, and 5. They'll get a tri-merge report, which is just a 3-bureau report of all 3 credit reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and then they'll exclude any duplicate information. So any accounts that you have on all 3 of your credit reports, it'll just be listed as one account. And then they'll basically generate this tri-merge report, this report that includes information from all 3 credit bureaus and assigns you a score per your FICO 2, 4, and 5 based on the credit bureaus. And then your middle score of the 3 will be considered your qualifying score for a mortgage. So if you have a 650, a 680, and a 700, 680 will be considered your qualifying score. So that's going to be the score that your lender will use to see if you obviously qualify you for your mortgage. That's going to be the score that your interest rate is going to be based on for your mortgage loan, your qualifying score, which is your middle score. So I personally always recommend, and some lenders will, differ, with what they want or whatever, but I just personally recommend just a safe number overall is to make sure that your middle score, your qualifying score is at least 630 to 640. Really, I like to say 640, but with 630, you typically, most lenders would be, great with that. But I just say 640 for a good interest rate and all of that. Obviously, the higher your credit score, the higher your mortgage score is, the better terms you will get. But at least a 640. So if you don't have a 640 and you don't know how to get there, that's what we'll be talking about in the masterclass. Like, I'm going to tell you things that you need to do. Hey, you need to do this. If you got this type of credit card, make sure you do this before you apply for a mortgage. I know you're not used to this because this wouldn't affect your FICO 8 score. If you made this change today, you probably would not see any effect on your FICO 8 score. So you maybe didn't realize that it would help your mortgage scores, because it's a lot of things that don't affect FICO 8 that heavily affects your mortgage scores. Mortgage scores are an outdated version of the scores that we're used to. So it's a lot of things that back in the day in 1996 and 2002, which pretty much is the range of the mortgage scores, that was not true then. Like, for example, a lot of people have American Express cards now, and most American Express cards are charge cards, not credit cards. So they don't report a limit to the credit bureaus. Most people don't realize that even if you leave $1 on a charge card, your mortgage scores is going to read that card as maxed out. Your FICO 8 score, it knows it's not maxed out, because it knows it doesn't have, just because something didn't present a limit, it doesn't mean that whatever balance that you presented doubles as the limit. FICO 8 score knows that, because it's more common now to have a card with no limit. Back then, no one had a credit card with no limit. Therefore, none of the credit scoring calculations were based on a credit card with no limit. That confuses the system. They think even if you got $2 on a American Express Gold card, it means that your limit is also $2, which also means that your utilization is 100%, which is obviously like super problematic. So just like small things like that many people don't even think about or realize that will change your mortgage score. Which Amex cards are charge cards? Only the cards with no limits? Yes. So any card that does not have a preset spending limit is considered a charge card. What's another fact about mortgage scores versus your FICO 8 score? So another fact as it pertains to like credit cards, since we're on that topic, any credit card with a limit of over 33,000 is typically omitted from your mortgage scores, because again, it just was not usual for anyone to have super high limit credit cards back then. People were not like having $40,000 and $50,000 credit cards at all. It was not normal back then. So your mortgage score pretty much cuts off that at 33,000. So you can have, let's say you can have a $33,000 credit card and leave $2,000 on it, and your FICO 8 score, it would be cool with that, because well, what's that percentage? It's still low. I don't know how to do that math in my head right now, but that would still be okay per your FICO 8 score, right? With your mortgage score, that's not going to be okay, because since that your credit limit is over 33,000, it omits it, but it cannot omit the balance on that credit card. So if you have a $2,000 balance on a $33,000 credit card, it's just going to count that 2,000 against all of your other credit cards. Hoping you have other credit cards that could be able to report a $2,000 balance without it raising your utilization extremely high. Most people don't, right? So when that $2,000 balance is presented amongst your other credit limits, like $500, $1,500, that looks crazy. It looks extremely high. If you have another thing, if you have a charge off that was a credit card in the past and you have not settled that account, if that account still has a balance, that balance on that card is going to be calculated into your utilization on a charged off account. That's not the same with a FICO 8 score, but with mortgage scores, any charged off account that used to be a credit card, the balance that you still have failed to pay is still being calculated against your utilization. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, exactly. You just pretty much have to think of it from like how people spent in normal. And another, well, look, we talking about everything in class, but I mean, it's just a lot of things that like in 2002 and 1996 or whatever, it just wasn't normal. Like they didn't behave like that with credit cards. It's the credit card craze is crazy right now. I mean, it just wasn't normal back then. And that's the thing. So if maybe you're new to my platform. So I'm a person that lives off my credit cards. I have a lot of available credit limits. I build my credit limits, etc. Right. But I don't have credit card debt. I don't even pay credit card interest. I teach, when I teach about credit cards, I don't just teach from an excessive point of view where it's like just go apply for credit cards and go shopping and go ball. No. Anyone who knows me knows that I teach the proper way to use a credit card, because if you're uneducated on how to use a credit card, then you're going to take the stance of what a lot of people used to take, like especially if you're in the black community. We all grew up probably hearing our moms, our aunties, our elders saying, don't mess with those credit cards. Those are dangerous. The credit cards are the devil. Don't get no credit cards. So I waited a long time before I started getting credit cards, because I was scared of them, because everybody that I heard talking about credit cards, it was always negative. And then when I got older and obviously furthered my own education in financial literacy, I realized, oh, they're having that take because they were not properly taught how to use a credit card. They don't know how beneficial a credit card is because they've never seen the benefits of a credit card. A credit card has only negatively impacted them because what they were taught about credit cards was wrong. They were not taught right about credit cards. But if you ask anyone who has any level of financial literacy, who is well off in life, they're going to tell you the same thing about a credit card. You use a credit card, you just have to know how to use it so it can benefit you, as opposed to you're getting in, mountains of credit card debt. No, I teach responsible use for credit card. I don't do excessiveness. But yeah, I can understand why most people will be like, don't do that. I get it, because I grew up learning it that way. When I learned how to use a credit card, changed my life. I don't pay for flights. I don't pay for concerts or any other pretty much extracurricular activity that I want to do. I use my points for all of it. And I literally gain points by doing the things that I have to do already: paying my bills, getting gas, buying groceries, when I order Uber, when I order DoorDash, when I go to a restaurant, paying with a credit card, just replacing my credit card with my debit card. So I'm gaining points or earning cash back, as opposed to just spending my money on something and not getting anything in return. I'm building credit. So now that extends my ability to reach more money than I can probably generate from a job. If I want a home loan, I can go get a home loan at a great rate from a bank. They trust me because I've built my credit. I can pay off that home loan. I can sell the property. I can ask for a personal loan, a business loan, so I can start a business and I can start generating income. And I'm getting all of those at a really great interest rate because I've built up a great credit history so the banks can trust me. So credit is power as long as you know how to manage your credit and deal with it. If you don't know how to manage your credit, you're going to get ate up by this capitalistic system. We're in America. Everything costs. Everything is triple, double, quadruple the price. Credit is not going anywhere. Even if they claim to say that the government is going to run it, the CFPB is going to run it, it's still the same thing. That does not benefit the consumer how you guys think it will. That it just benefits them. That we'll still have a credit rating. It's not like it'll still be the same thing. So you either can learn credit or you can, like I say, credit is a game. You either learn how to play it or you get played. And it just unfortunately is the truth. Yep, you learn to play the game or you get played, because we in America. It's not going nowhere. It's just not. The flashes are bad. It is. To turn them off, I don't even know. I really don't even know the remote to them lights because they just stay on. Yes, I'm having a Homebuyers Masterclass tomorrow. So if you're trying to purchase a home from now within the next 3 years or 2 years, and you don't know what to do, maybe you got collections, maybe your lender told you that you didn't qualify for a mortgage because you don't have a certain score. Maybe you are in the middle of your home buying process and your lender's telling you need 10 more points, because that's what I used to specialize in. I would be the go-to if a client needed 10, 20 more points. Can you look at this credit report and determine any areas of opportunity that would make them gain a few points in their mortgage score? That's what I used to do. I study credit reports. And this is what this class is going to be about. Actionable things that you can do tomorrow, today, the next day, whatever, to improve your mortgage score specifically. How can I pay my mortgage with a credit card? You probably can't pay it. I haven't found a way. That's like one of the only things that I wish I could do it with my credit card, but you can't, because most mortgages will require direct withdrawal from your bank account. How long does it take to get a response after a goodwill letter? That depends on the company, because they are under no legal time limit to reply to you, because it's not an FCRA right of yours to get a goodwill. That's totally based on the company. So definitely be patient. Don't try to rush them, because remember that they're doing you a favor. But it takes, really, I hear anywhere from 2 weeks, 30 days, 60 days. It really just depends. Yeah, you can't rush them. I'm not gonna look, and that's a lot, but we still have a lot more to learn. Trust me, we still have a lot more. That's why our webinar is over 3 hours. It's a lot. With the new FICO 10T, which one will have the least negative impact on your credit score? A personal line of credit or a personal loan? What do you mean least negative impact? So it really shouldn't be a negative impact aside from opening a new account, which will just cause a temporary drop in your credit score from losing a little credit age. But other than that, if you pay it on time, you should be fine. The same way FICO 10T, FICO 8, regardless of what FICO score. I will say though, you know what's crazy with FICO 10T now that you brought that up? One of the things that they are changing with FICO 10T, you know how if you have credit card debt right now, most people will like go get a personal loan or go get a debt consolidation loan to pay off their credit card, and then, you know, obviously pay it back off, pay the company off who consolidated the debt. That is actually going to negatively impact your FICO 10T score. Ain't that crazy? That's one of the things that they're changing in FICO 10T. Anytime they call it vacating debt, meaning like moving debt from one spot to the next, is they're looking at it like, okay, you're not getting rid of the debt, you're just literally moving it from one place to the next. So that's going to start negatively impacting FICO 10T scores, which is, like I said, it's just crazy to me. But yep, that's something that we have to all look out for as well. If you're going, yeah, I mean, you better do it before FICO 10T starts to be heavily accepted. Did you crimp your hair? No, this was, you know, just I think I did like 4 braids and slept with it. When is your credit card webinar? So look, my credit card webinar is my next webinar that I'm doing. I wanted to do the home buyers webinar, and then I'm gonna do the credit card webinar. It is gonna be during holiday season. I wanted to wait to kind of like Black Friday, because the credit cards that I tell y'all that I'm going to recommend, Black Friday, you already know that's when the banks open. That's when the money open. That's when they're giving out the real money. So I'm going to time it right, like by holiday season. But that's my next one. Yeah. No, this one is home ownership. We will touch on credit cards in terms of building, but it's definitely not like credit card focused. So if you learning credit cards, wait till the credit card webinar. No, you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad at me. I ain't got time. This is home buyers. FICO 2, 4, and 5 is the main thing that I'm focusing on. Then MG will focus on the lending aspect, closing costs, and I don't know how to really explain all the stuff that he's talking about, but he'll talk about all the, like, what I say the boring part of home ownership, which is just the headache part where it's just like, oh, I need this paper, I need this. If you've ever purchased a home, you know what I'm talking about. Your lender probably, I need this, I need that, they're probably gonna ask 2 or 3 times for the same thing. So that's the side he talk about. No matter how many times I go through that process, it's always gonna be a headache. But yeah, he'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about credit, mortgage scores, credit, and all of that. Yeah, we definitely touch on collections, charge-offs, bank, any derogatory account, late payments, how you correct those, collections, how do you properly challenge those? What do you need to do about collections before you purchase a home? Charge-offs, what charge-offs you need to ignore, what charge-offs you don't need to ignore, what collections that you don't, before you pay this collection, consider this. You know, we'll talk about all that. Yes, ma'am. Are you an expert in this while you're teaching it? Yeah. You really can't. Wait, where is it at? Well, you can't really see it, but where is it? Oh, I did all that. I don't even got it up behind me. Where is it at? I don't know. I was going to show you my certificate from FICO, but yes, I am considered an expert. I need to put that back up. No, that's my degree. I thought that was my certificate, but that's the degree. No, I don't have it's no degree in credit. I wish there was. I probably would have one, but nope. Why are my Equifax and TransUnion scores not changing? What are you doing anything different with your credit? Because if nothing changes for your credit score. You're not like a normal credit score doesn't move every single month. I think people think that they're supposed to receive an update every single month in their credit report, because if they have a credit monitoring service, they update once a month. But if there's no change, there's nothing to update. Your score will just stay the same. So always remember, if nothing changes on your credit score. I sent the round 1 letter. It's been 6 months, no response. What do I do next? You said don't send round 2 until I get a response. Don't send round 2 until you get a response, or it has been at least 90 days. You missed that second part. Now you got to start all over. You got to start all over. 6 months is way too long. You can't follow up on the dispute 6 months ago, friend. I'm sorry. You're going to have to start all over from round 1. And if they don't reply within, move that to 60. Move that to 60 now, because now they're starting to get in trouble for not responding. Because at first the CFPB were not regulating the time. Now it was a recent lawsuit, so they kind of been putting a pep in their step. So send it again, but don't get them 6 months, girl. You're being too generous. What's the difference between FICO, TransUnion, and Experian? So it's not the difference in FICO. It's just 3 separate companies, totally different companies that have no relation. Like they're literally separate. They're just different companies. So they update on different days of the month. Some companies, maybe you have a credit card or maybe even a collection that doesn't report to all three, but maybe they just chose 2 credit bureaus of the 3 to report to. So not every company, no company has to report to all 3 credit bureaus, because every company has to pay to report to each bureau. So some companies, especially like smaller companies, they'll decide we only want to report to TransUnion and Equifax and not Experian, right? Or sometimes they don't get approved to report to all 3 companies because Equifax is known to be like the strictest one. Well, the most difficult. I'll say most difficult, not strict. Most people gonna report to TransUnion because they're the cheapest and the easiest to report to. So TransUnion typically is like the one with the most accounts. Typically, obviously, it'll some people will have it different, but on average, TransUnion is usually probably the one that you have the most accounts on because they're the easiest ones to get by. Where I get the pictures, maybe Amazon. I think Amazon. Yeah, it came in a three set. I think, yeah, it came in a 3 set. My experience changing, but not the other. So what is changing on your experience? Is it something regarding an account that's only on Experian, or is it an account that's on all 3, but it's only changing on Experian? You get what I mean? I plan on buying a house in 2 years and my credit is like 580. Will this class help me? Yes, it will. You got a 580, so it shouldn't be hard to get to at least a 640, depending on what you have going on your credit profile and stuff. No, wait. I do want to address something because I just got a question. I hope I didn't set this standard, but if I did, let me correct it right now. So someone asked, if they have a 500, will this class help them improve their mortgage score to 640 in a month? I don't know. No, it's not, because there is no legal way to do that. I teach a very realistic way on how to improve your credit report, and I'm not going to sell you a dream. So no, I don't want you to purchase the class if you think like it's going to be like a miracle. It's not a miracle. It's just certain things that you can start doing that will affect your mortgage score, but it's not any crazy thing that's like in 30 days you got it. No. And no one can do that. So even if someone is promising you that, like, they're lying. So don't give them your money. So no, don't expect that. Again, if I set that tone, that's not how I teach credit. It's a process. Credit is a process, regardless of who's teaching it or how you slice it. It's just a process, and a lot of things has to be done over a consistent basis for at least 90 days for major changes on your credit report in any arena. So no, not a 30-day turnaround. It's not possible. Yeah, soft increase. You the only person who see your soft increase. So your lenders don't see it. They don't care about it. It doesn't affect like your score. That's just for your records, your information only. But pay attention to your soft increase, because they typically will tell you if you have a collection like heading towards your way. Like if you look at your soft increase and then you see a collection agency is in your soft increase and you don't have them already on your credit report, it means that they have a collection that they believe belongs to you. So they're pulling your report to make sure that their information matches up with what they have, or they may be pulling it so that they can find you, so they can locate you, so they can start contacting you for your debt. So anytime you see a collection agency that pulls your credit report and you don't have a collection by them, they're on the way to you. So I always recommend to send them a debt validation letter the second that you see them on your soft increase. Another way that you can utilize your soft increase, if you see any of your current creditors in your soft increase, because I meant to say this at the beginning, all of your current creditors, all of your collection agency, any collection agencies that has a collection that belongs to you, and obviously anyone that you apply for, they can all see your credit profile. Your current creditors can pull your credit at any time and it'll be a soft increase. So you literally wouldn't know unless you get a copy of your credit report and look at your soft increase. You wouldn't know. They don't have to warn you. They don't have to give you permission, because when you signed up for the account, you gave them permission to access your credit report, right? So if you see any of your current creditors, this specific really with credit card companies, if you see them reviewing your account, they typically were most likely looking to see if you either deserve a credit limit increase or if you have some activity on your report that would cause them to have to decrease your credit limit, right? Like sometimes companies won't look unless you request a credit limit increase, or like on a maybe every 6-month basis, they won't look. until they are alerted to look. So things that alert your current creditors to look at and pull your score. If you close more than 2 accounts in a single month, in a single billing cycle, especially credit card accounts, they typically are going to look to see what's going on. Do we need to lower their credit limit? Do we need to close this account? Are we next? Why did they randomly close these 2 accounts, right? So that's gonna be a red flag to them. Anytime you get a collection or charge off, red flag in their system. It's going to alert them to look at your credit report. Anytime you are late on another credit card, most credit card companies, if you are late on another credit card, they're alerted. They want to know when you are late on other credit cards, because obviously they're going to think that they're next. So a lot of times if you start being late on another credit card, you'll notice that your creditors will start lowering your credit limit. That's because they're watching your report and seeing how you're behaving on your other accounts. But yeah, they have access. They can pull it every day of the week if they wanted to. They don't have to get your permission anymore after you signed the contract. But you gave them permission. So they already got your permission. How does collection agencies determine if an account is yours? That's a funny question because it's super easy. All they have to do is be able to match up at least 2 points of information about you on your personal information. So if they can match your address and maybe even your first initial, if they match your zip code and maybe your name, it's not really hard for them to have to validate, because all they have to do is match 2 pieces of identifying information, which is extremely easy, especially for most people, because most people have so much personal information on their credit report. They have 12 names, 12 different variations of their names, nicknames. They have 20 addresses, every single place that they've ever received mail. They got your auntie address, your mom address, your brother address, your college address, every address that you've lived at. You got all that on your credit report. You got all of those zip codes, 20 different phone numbers on your credit report. They got 10 different employers on your credit report. So most people have a lot of personal information on their credit report. So it's as easy as a snap to get anything validated in terms of a collection agency. So I always tell y'all to clean your personal information, but that's one of the reasons, because there are other reasons as well. Yeah. What time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna get off in a minute, but hold on. I've applied for a mortgage loan. I've been sending in documents, fingers crossed, but I'm still going to purchase the car. Shout out to you. So are you pre-approved? Because you say you've been sending in documents. So I'm assuming you're pre-approved. Are you? Regardless, congratulations. Synchrony Bank is terrible with available credit. Taking it and adding it is crazy. Synchrony and most retail cards, but Synchrony and Community are known for just lowering your credit limit. They're just known for that. They always do that. And look, it's holiday season. So y'all know what I say about them holiday funds. Not only do banks open up the vault and release more funds to people, right? But also they taken. If you ain't been using your card all year, you finna get that taken so they can give it to somebody who's gonna use it. This the time, holiday season. So if you've been having a card that's just been sitting 3-4 months, I need you to make a purchase on that card. If it's a regular card, even if you just get some gas, even if you just go get some chips or something. Really, that's why you should have a subscription on all of your credit cards. All of the ones that are bank cards, traditional bank cards that you can use, obviously outside of a dedicated store, have a subscription on those. Any other subscriptions that you have on your debit card, put them on each of your credit cards so that you don't have to worry about a bank closing your card due to non-activity, which is the number one reason why credit cards just close. If you ever got a credit card just closed out of nowhere, most likely it was because you just haven't been using that card. You wasn't using that card enough. The bank was like, we are not going to reserve this limit for you when somebody else will be happy to use it. Yep. I have a subscription. Someone said, what you mean subscription? Subscription like Netflix, Hulu, Apple Music. What else do we subscribe to? We subscribe to a lot of shit. Like I said, I had checked and I think I was subscribed to like 12 different things and I didn't even realize it. So I guarantee you probably subscribe to something. If you got an iPhone, go to like settings, your name, and then go to like subscriptions and look at all the apps that you probably been subscribed to and you didn't even realize you subscribed to. It could be $1. It could be $2. It don't matter. Banks love to see recurring charges on your credit card. All they're going to see is the number of recurring charges you have. So all of that Netflix, those $10 purchases, those $15 purchases, put those on your credit card so you can make yourself look better to your bank. They love that shit. Like they love it. They love it. They love recurring charges. They love auto pay. So set up auto pay for at least the minimum payment. At least the minimum. If you take care of your minimum payment, by the time your auto pay come up, it won't even draft anything. It won't even take anything. But now you look amazing to your bank. And guess what? You ask for a credit limit increase. You got all the signs pointing to why you deserve a credit limit increase. You've been reporting a low utilization. You've been using the card. You have recurring subscriptions on this card, and you got auto pay. Why wouldn't we give you some more money? Why wouldn't we? That's how it works. You got to look good on paper. No, I don't pay my mortgage on a credit card. I wish. Like I said, I wish, but I can only do ACH for my mortgage. I want some ice. Yeah, my ice machine broke. Oh my God. That was so devastating. Literally devastating. Yes, the Homebuyers Masterclass is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Tomorrow, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. So get your tickets today. If you don't get it by 3 p.m. tomorrow, y'all, I'm so sorry. You cannot get it for $24.99. I've been warning y'all. I swear I've been warning y'all. I haven't been as active as I've been wanting to because I haven't even slept 2 consecutive days in my bed in the last 3 weeks. Like, ugh. So yeah, I'm gonna be done because I'm taking a break for my birthday. So y'all finna start seeing me. Y'all can get tired of me again. But yes, the masterclass is tomorrow. If you're trying to buy a home, if you want to know how to improve your mortgage scores, if you got collections and think that you ain't gonna ever qualify for a mortgage, if you got charge-offs, if you just filed bankrupt, if you just think, oh man, I'm never gonna get a mortgage because nothing I do is working for my credit scores, I want to challenge you to pull up, and I bet you I change your mind. I bet you can see how possible it is to improve your mortgage scores. And it ain't nothing like you ain't gotta have $1 million. Like most people think you just gotta have a lot of money to improve your credit. No. $24.99 for the ticket. If you just want the ticket to the class, you will also get a lifetime access to the replay and a copy of the presentation slides for the $24.99. Or if you want the bundle deal, which comes with the ebook House Hackonomics, which is from MG, talking about lending. If you're an investor, that book is golden for you. Or you want to be a real estate investment, that's what that book is really for. And then also the new version of my DIY kit. So if you have things to repair on your credit, collections, and all of that, the DIY kit comes with everything you need to do that. So yeah, and that's the bundle deal is the webinar plus the ebooks is $49.99, but just the webinar is $24.99. So you don't have to get the bundle if you don't want. That's just for people if they need it or want that. It's tomorrow, yeah. But if you can't make it live, you'll still get access to the replay. MG was in here. Is he still in here? Which one was he on? MG, you in here? Let me text him. Yep, tomorrow you'll get your link, and don't share your link and have somebody click your link before you do, and then your slot is taken in the class. So you get your link. If you want to share the webinar after, share it after you get access to the replay. Don't give your friends your live link because you're gonna be mad that you can't get in the class. But everyone gets that tomorrow as well as the ebooks. You get everything. I always send them the same day. Yep. Yeah, if your medical bills are less than if you have medical collections less than 500, they're going to be removed by August. Yes, it's tomorrow. Road to750.net. You can purchase it on my website. You can just click the link in my bio, and it's the first option. Yes, it's $24.99 to 3 p.m. tomorrow, and then if you want to purchase it after the class goes live, it's $49.99 for the class and the downloadables. You mentioned you like to challenge your LexisNexis in 10 steps. Will you go over that? Not in the class tomorrow, but I do have a upcoming. It's not a webinar. It's a free video that I made. I just haven't released it because, yeah, I just haven't released it. But I'll give y'all that. That's not a webinar though. That'll be just on my platforms for free. It'll be on YouTube, my YouTube. Yeah, 10 steps. Because it's your LexisNexis report is really comprised of about 10 to 12 really individual reports, but most of the stuff is just it will be literally pointless for you to dispute. The ones that matters, I typically just dispute it in 10 steps because there's so much information that you trying to do it all at once is just probably not going to be plausible for most people. So I break it down into 10 steps on how I personally disputed mine and just recommend it or whatever. But again, that's not a masterclass. That's not a webinar. That's just one of my regular videos like I normally do. Just haven't released it yet, but I should. Yeah, you need to take a break, girl. Yeah, I am. My birthday coming up, so I am taking a break. So I'm kind of just like, going kind of a little hard for my birthday, then because I know I'm gonna take a break. Where you going next, girl? Nebraska. Nebraska. I'm going to talk to or do a class for a bank in Nebraska. Yeah, girl. I don't even know the weather. I need to look at it. Nebraska just seems to me like it's gonna be cold, so I just automatically assume boots, sweaters, jackets. Please, how do I get my report? Annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. Get your credit report for free. If you want basically like a tri-merge report, if you want to see all three of them back to back, the only way you can get it, the cheapest way you're gonna get it is $1. If you go to smartcredit.com/Shonda and you can pay the $1 trial, download your report, and then you can cancel the account. Because if you keep the account past 7 days, it's $19.99. And you can if you want, but you don't got to. You definitely can just pay the $1 and download the report. That's what I normally recommend, especially if you have like charge-offs that you're trying to dispute. That's my favorite way to dispute charge-offs, which is just to factually dispute it. And that's smartcredit.com/Shonda. You don't need a code. You can bypass that when it asks you, and you'll still be able to get the $1 trial. Is it easy to remove collections from IC systems? They definitely are not like a hard hitter for sure. It's kind of like sometimes they'll be able to properly validate it, but a lot of times they are not. So I always see them get deleted, and they're definitely disputable if that's what you're asking. Every collection is disputable, with the exception of LVNB, portfolio recovery, and Midland funding. Not that they are not disputable, it's just that they're a headache. So I just typically recommend to just settle with them because all they're going to do is take you to court anyway. So if you mess with them, just be prepared to go to court. If you don't like that stress, just settle with them because they're going to take you to court because they're a debt buyer. They're not like your typical collection agency. They bought that debt, so they own it. And when they own it, they want their money. They're going to take you to court. They know most people are not going to show up, so it's going to result in a default judgment that gives them access to your check, your bank account, any property that you own, whatever. That gives them access to your money, whether you agree to it or not, because you'll either get garnished or whatever. You'll get a default judgment if you don't show up. But most people don't show up. So they literally bank on most people not showing up. Most people don't show up for court for that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like they're not disputable. So for the person who was like, you disputed them and won, yeah, it happens. That definitely happens. It's just if it was out of 100 times, people will probably be successful against them maybe 10 times. And that the chances are not high enough for me to be like, yeah, dispute them. That's a little too, you know what I mean? Like it's too high probability that it's going to go in a negative direction. So I just say don't do it. Most people don't want to deal with that. Most people don't want to deal with that stress. What if you show up? So if you show up to court, by the way, for any debt, just a PSA, anytime you are summoned to court, please go. Literally the worst thing you can do is not go. You're not going to go to jail for debt. You're in the United States. You do not get locked up for debt. Now, IRS, that's the different. I'm talking about telecommunications, utilities, most of our collections, even medical bills. You're not going to go to jail. All they're going to do is make you agree to a payment agreement, and then a judge signs off on it, and that payment agreement is now considered a legal binding contract. So that means that whatever you agreed to and a judge signed off on, that you would pay a month, but whether that's $30 or maybe you agree, because the terms can be different. A judge can say, well, you only got to pay 30% of this and you got a year to pay it, right? Depending on whatever the judge say, that is considered a legal binding contract. So you have to stick to whatever that judge say, but it's typically just a payment arrangement. Most of the time for debt, you don't even see the judge. A lot of times they'll just literally have a clerk outside and they'll say, hey, the company is proposing that you agree to this payment arrangement, $50 a month for X amount of months. Do you agree to it, or do you agree to this settlement amount? If you agree to it, you can sign off and you never have to see the judge on most times. Or sometimes if you don't agree to it, you just go see the judge and you tell the judge, hey, I can't afford it. Or, maybe I lost my job. I can't afford this. So the judge will give you a solution, or you guys will work together for a solution. But it's not like this big, scary thing. You know what I mean? For debt. Like it definitely show up. Show up all the time. Because if you don't show up, they'll get a default judgment. So it ain't like it's going to go away if you don't show up. Like that's the worst. Because now, especially if you live in a state that allows a garnishment, now they can just garnish your check. They'll send the judge the default judgment, a copy of the default judgment to your to your employer. Before your paycheck reaches you, they're going to take their cut. Before it even touches your bank account, they already got their cut. So regardless if you wanted to pay them or not, by you not showing up, now you don't have that option. I work in collections and most of our judgments end in default judgment. Yeah, because unfortunately, most people don't go to court. I think most people are just kind of like scared. They're scared to go to court, or they just was, some people just think if they ignore shit, it goes away, but it does not, especially with credit. Yeah, I'm gonna get off her. I'm sleepy. Y'all know I'm an old lady. Then I got to prepare for tomorrow because I already know I'm gonna be up all night tomorrow. No, it's Eastern time. I live in Texas, but it's Eastern time. It's Eastern time. I go off Eastern time. That hat is so cute. Thank you. Who was that? Damn, I didn't see your name. Oh, that's my friend. Thank you, Kim. Well, look, let me call you your TikTok name. Cause I don't know if you want your real name. So let me go saying that. That's my friend. Should all CCs report 1 to 10 or only 1? For best results, all, but the aggregate, the overall will help, but it'll help you more if you report all of them under 10% individually. I bought a ticket but didn't get any. So the code, you should have got the confirmation email. And if you didn't, look on your like spam promotions and junk folder. But you will get the code, your personal link to the webinar tomorrow. Everyone will. I went to the last webinar. They'll mail you a code the same day as well as the downloads. Exactly. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, girl. Gertie's lives has so much in. Thank you. Yep, my webinar is different. Yes, definitely different from the lives. We play around on the lives. Webinar is business. It's business. We learning. We still having a good time because I'm gonna have my little cup of wine. Hopefully, y'all have y'all wine, y'all friends or your spouse or whoever. By the way, if you are trying to buy a mortgage and you are married, if your spouse wants to come, I definitely recommend both coming. So you can get both of y'all scores mortgage ready, so y'all can get 2 different mortgages, 2 different properties. Why get one when you could get 2? Yeah, the webinar is 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you're Central, it's 5 to 8 p.m. Will debt consolidation hurt mortgage buying process? It definitely could, especially depending on how far in advance you do it. It could, because that's a lot of credit days that you're going to lose. I would not be trying to consolidate mortgage like within 6 months of trying to get a mortgage. I mean, I would not be trying to consolidate debt within 6 months of trying to get a mortgage, because that's going to do a number on your credit age. A number. Yep. Took the last Homebuyers class, literally closed. Worth every bit of the money times 10. Thank you. And shout out to you. Congratulations. I need to start posting more of those comments that y'all be leaving. I be forgetting to freaking post. I be screenshotting and never posting. We had a lot of people from the last webinar closing their homes. Like, I'm gonna see if I can hopefully stay up tonight and compile a list of all of them, because they're all in my screenshots. I just haven't even put them together. So many freaking people came back and was like, it's so exciting to me. Like, so freaking exciting to me when like people be like, I actually closed. Like, here's my home. Here's etc. I'm done. I did it. I followed the steps. I didn't give up. I closed. Love it. Love it. Yeah, my LexisNexis video, yep, that's still coming, but the webinar is not about LexisNexis. I look sleepy. Yeah, it feels later than what it is. It really does. My body don't feel 8 o'clock. My body feels like it's at least 10 o'clock, like for real. But I had to wake up early today, so I think that's why, because I am so drained. Like, I'm so sleepy right now. No, on a normal day, I don't wake up until 5:30. Like 5:36 some days, really. And I wouldn't wake up that early if I ain't have to get the kids ready, but I kind of like it because it forces me to wake up that early, and then I just don't allow myself to take a nap anymore. I used to. I ain't gonna hold you. But lately, I have not been allowing myself to take a nap, which I get way more stuff done. So I'm happy, but I burn out real fast. Like at night, I'm like 9 o'clock. Ooh, I'm ready to go to bed. I am ready to go to bed. What's a good credit score for a first-time home buyer? I recommend at least a 630, 640. If you don't have that, don't panic, because if you go to the webinar, I'm gonna literally teach you how to get it. Trust me. Yeah, you never cap about your information. One thing about it, you're gonna get the information. I love that y'all know that. Like, genuinely, I love that, like, for real, for real. If y'all don't know nothing about me, that's really all I want the impression to be. She's gonna always get you what you pay, give you more than what you paid for. That's why I don't do webinars a lot. I don't, because to me they just be overdone. I scroll every time. I low key hate webinars, but then I like teaching them. But I don't like to do them a lot because I hate for every time I scroll, it's another webinar, and it's like, damn, everybody doing webinars. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I walk that fine line, because that's why I'm never going to be like the person that's going to do them every week, do them every month. No, sir. I do them maybe 4 times a year, if that. Yeah. And I always try to keep them affordable. Exactly. No, hell no. I definitely don't do them every week. I couldn't. I do live. Yeah, you see me on live, but that's not a webinar. What do you do if you have 2 auto charge-offs that were sold, but the companies they were sold to is not reporting on your credit report? That were sold. So are you saying like another company now owns it, but like now they're not reporting? There's nothing really you can do about that, because you can't force the company to report to the credit bureaus. That's the unfortunate thing. I know. I hope you don't get caught in either. But if you do, don't worry, because you'll still receive all the information. You'll get the full replay from top to bottom. A real mo. Yeah, this is a real mo, but I do have makeup on, so I make it back. But I do have a real mo right there, like that, in that exact spot. Right. I got a lot of moles on my face. Girl, yeah. Can I get a painted leaf for collection that's sold? A painted leaf. What's a painted leaf for a collection? Am I overreading it? A painted leaf? I don't know what that is. Yes, definitely from St. Louis. From the Lou, and I'm proud. All right, y'all. I'm finna get off of here. Yeah, I got any more questions real quick about the Homebuyers webinar before I leave? The masterclass, anything you need to know? Any clarification, anything about that real quick before I get off here? I just want to make sure everybody on the same page. You know exactly what you're going to get. All that. If you are worried about if I'm gonna cover a certain topic, if you are dealing with a certain issue and you like, this is all I need to know. So I want to know, is she gonna cover this or not? I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll cover that. No, I won't cover that. Just so everyone knows what they're going to get. Reporting time is 5 years, regardless of what state you're in, but statute of limitations will change based on the state that you're in. Will it be on YouTube? No, the webinar won't be on YouTube. The webinar will be Zoom. It'll be a private Zoom link that you'll be sent tomorrow. Yeah, everyone will get the link tomorrow. Shout out to you. I just purchased. Shout out. Yes, road to750.net. Yep. Yeah. Will we get a copy of the exact presentation or a revised version? The exact, like literally the one that I'm going to present. You don't got to screenshot it because you're going to get it. Like, you literally going to have your own copy. But still bring a notebook, because I talk. So I'll have a point on a board, but then I'll be explaining it verbally. So everybody needs to have a notebook and a pen for sure. Like, without a doubt. I definitely recommend everyone to have a notebook. And then, of course, it's a Q&A. So maybe someone asks a question and you didn't think about it, or I didn't cover it specifically, and now you got to answer. So, have a notebook. Can you buy the replay? You can buy the replay, but after the class goes live, the replay and all the downloadables will be $49.99. So you can purchase it at the $24.99 price and still get the replay, even if you can't make it live. So it'll be $24.99 until 3 p.m. tomorrow. And then that's when it cut off. After it goes live, in about, it'll take maybe 4 days and stuff to edit. Then the replay will be available, but it'll be for $49.99. You're so transparent. I love it. Oh yeah, because I want you to know exactly what you're gonna get. I listen, my worst fear is people purchasing something for me and they feel like, oh well, this ain't what we agreed to. Because I don't like that. Like, I be pissed when I get something that I'm like, yo, now why she ain't make this clear? Why they make it seem like they was gonna know? I want you to know exactly what you're gonna get. I like my very low chargeback rate. I like my chargeback rate because I want you to know exactly what you're gonna get. So I don't want to build no type of faulty expectation. Nah, let me tell you what you're gonna get. Yeah, the class is gonna be over 3 hours. I'm gonna cover half, and G gonna take half. I'm gonna be teaching you everything you need to do in preparation to get approved for a mortgage. So the things that you need to do before you get a mortgage, like this is you need to stop doing at least 6 months out, or this is what you need to do if you're within 3 months. And these are the things that you need to stop doing when you right before you apply for your pre-approval, because it's a process to mortgage. It's a pre-approval. Obviously, you shop for a home, you decide the home you want. It goes then underwriting, and then you get your final approval, and then you close, right? It's a whole process. It starts before you get a home loan, though. Most people will say, I want to buy a home in 2 months. What do I do? And I'm like, yo, we should have been prepping a few months ago. So you're fully prepared. If you're a real estate agent, I have a lot of real estate agents who always join, especially my home buyers webinars, just so you guys can help your clients. If your client is 4 points off, 5 points off, 10 points off, which I know most real estate agents know all too well, when their qualifying score is a couple points off and you like, damn, they were supposed to close and now they don't even qualify. How to get those few points? I'm gonna teach areas of opportunity that you're able to identify within your client or advise your client on so that they can improve their mortgage scores. If anyone who is ever going to use your mortgage score or help people use their mortgage scores, you'll learn from this webinar. You'll learn from this webinar. Yeah, you can get your accurate credit report, your real credit report from annualcreditreport.com, and it's free. You don't have to pay for your credit reports. Annualcreditreport.com. You can download all three from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You just have to verify your identity on each website, and then they'll allow you to download it immediately. Your credit scores are not on your credit report, though. That's the thing. Your credit scores are not actually on your real credit report. If you want your credit scores, your FICO score, your mortgage scores, you go to myfico.com. That's the only place that you're going to get all three of your mortgage scores as of now. The accurate ones, the ones that, like, if your lender pulls your mortgage score, that's the same exact ones that they're going to see down to the point. Like it's from the source. MyFICO is the source. It's FICO scores. $24.99 for just the class. You'll also get a copy of the replay for life and a copy of the presentation slides from both MG and I. So you'll get 2 PowerPoint presentation slides, 2 different ones. One talks about your credit score for mortgage lending, and then one talks about the prepping for the lending, getting your lender's approval. And then you also get lifetime access to the replay. All that for $24.99. And then if you want the bundle deal is you get MG's House Hackonomic books, which is so dope, especially really good, especially if you're trying to be a real estate investor, because that's what he do. It goes into detail on how to do that, how to build your portfolio, all of that. But then it'll also come with my revised and updated DIY kit. So if you're dealing with credit issues like collections, charge-offs, how to properly challenge those legally, ethically, and that'll give you the best chance of getting it deleted or corrected. So yes, it's called Pre-Approval to Final Approval. It's my Homebuyers Masterclass that I'm hosting tomorrow, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, it's $24.99. Make sure you get your tickets. If you don't get it by 3 p.m. tomorrow, the price does go up to $49.99. I just want to keep saying it just to warn you guys, not to pressure, because you can still get it after it goes live. It will be more. It will be more. So I don't want anyone surprised by that. $24.99 until 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you already purchased, you will be looking out for your I'll be super active tomorrow on Instagram anyway, but you will get an email on the email that you registered with your code with your link to click. Yep. We'll go over collections, charge-offs, and all of that, because obviously those play a part in your mortgage scores, how to handle those and all of that. Yep, how to build your credit profile, because there's definitely a part of your mortgage scores. You have to have a credit profile. You have to have credit. So, yep, we definitely will be talking about that. I'll give you credit card recommendations if you don't know who to go to apply for, what's best for your credit profile. I'll be giving you recommendations for each credit profile stage. All of that, like literally, I'm going into great detail. That's why the webinar so long. So if you got something to do tomorrow night, you might want to hold off, because the class we say is going to be 3 hours. But if you came to the last one, we kind of went over. But we was chilling. It was great vibes. Get your wine glass, get your notebook, pull up, and come learn. All right. So yeah, I am out of here, guys. Again, purchase your ticket today for $24.99 at roadto750.net, or the first link in all of my bios. I will see y'all tomorrow because I'm sleepy. But yeah, bye. Bye, y'all.